Peace and love, and welcome to Black Diamond Worldwide Outreach. Today we are on our fifth Sunday in Lent, and that brings us into the fifth word that Jesus spoke on the cross, I thirst. Before we get into that though, I want to wish all my Muslim brothers and sisters a blessed and peaceful Ramadan. I see it just filled with every good and perfect thing. So happy Ramadan to each and every person that is celebrating in this season. How wonderful it is that when Ramadan falls in with Lent or some thing that we experience and go through in the Christian world. Today, though, in the Christian world, we are also celebrating our Passion Sunday. And it's one of my favorite Sundays because it reminds us to think about our passions, to think about like our pet peeves, our, just the things that bring up something within us, that drum up some type of activity, some type of thought process within us. So happy Passion Sunday, a blessed Ramadan, and let's get straight into it. The fifth word of Jesus is I thirst. And we can relate this to if we're walking through a desert, right? They say that the body can go without water for about 3 days. So let's say we're walking through a desert and on that third day with the dehydration, we need water, right? That would be the first thing on your mind is to hydrate yourself. But we can metaphysically translate this saying that Jesus did, or this word that we use every day to talk about drinking or, receiving liquids into our body as the things that we hunger and thirst for in life, right? The relationships we want, the jobs we want, the people that we want to be, the thirst, the hunger that we have for life and all of the situations and the conditions that we have through life. But the main point about the things that we're thirsting for is to be satisfied. We want to know that the work that we're doing is going into something great and wonderful. So let's project the aura of satisfaction into our world as we put our fists in the air and at the top of our lungs from our very spirit, let us affirm together, I am completely satisfied in my mind. I am completely satisfied in my body. I am completely satisfied in my life. I am completely satisfied in all my relationships. And how wonderful is that to know that, yes, we are satisfied. There is satisfaction. There is the fulfillment of that need in mind, in body, in life, in our marriages, in our work relationships, in our family relationships. There is complete satisfaction. We're not thirsting for anything. We're not yearning for everything because everything is satisfied. Now let's look at the fifth word of Jesus, which says, I thirst. Jesus has said these words after his cry of loneliness and fear. But here, after the words of earthly pain were expressed, which is what we spoke about last week, we talked about his words saying, my God, why have you forsaken me? But after this, he became thirsty for spirit. His body was so spiritually aligned that only spiritual mindset became his default thinking. He was able to snap right back into the consciousness of God and seek to restore any part of the bond that may have been lost in his outburst. It represents the stress of humankind in any form. Jesus was in pain and became thirsty for spirit. And the question that we must ask as we look at what Jesus was saying here as he said, I thirst, we must look at what feeds our appetite, what feeds our thirst, what feeds our life after difficult, distressing moments, right? Are we running to the drugs? Are we running to get drunk? Are we running to dull the pain? I think about people who practice self-harm. People who cut themselves, right, to draw blood. People who bang their heads or hit themselves on a side of a wall or a building or something like that. People who burn themselves just to feel some type of satisfaction in their world. If that is you, I want to tell you today that nothing in the external can heal the internal. And that is where the source of all life is. The source of everything in your world is inside of you. You are the source. So this God that you're praying to, right? Whether you believe God is upstairs, wherever you believe him to be, this God that you are trying to communicate with needs this body that you are in to express the life that only you can bring. That only you can bring this, only you can bring into this lifetime that you're here on this earth. A thirst for something is a belief that the fulfillment of that thing will bring your healing. But the question is, will it? Will it truly bring your healing? Again, today we are in our Passion Sunday. When we think about the things that we're passionate about, right? We can look at thirst versus passion. Right? You know, we have a term in my generation where we say thirsty people, right? You have your thirst traps if you're on Instagram, you know, those gym rats that are so impressed with their body that every time they go to the gym, time they do a sit-up, they got to stop in the mirror and take a picture, right? Every time they do a pull-up, they got to stop in the mirror and take a picture, let you know, so that you know that they know that you know that they know that they exercise, you know? They call them the thirst traps. And I like to see it. I'm not going to stop, right? It looks good, right? We want our body to be that way for a little bit of encouragement. But also they talk about, you know, when people are desperate for a relationship, you know, when people are demanding in a relationship, they're thirsty, right? So the question is, what fulfillment will it bring? When you have satisfied your thirst, when you have gotten what you're praying for, when you have gotten what you're passionate about, how is it satisfying yourself, your body, your mind, your spirit, your soul, your life? We must remember that both the things that we're thirsty for, the things that we're passionate about, both fulfill needs, but will the joy last? Is it substantial? What you are seeking, is it substantial? Does it bring you? That's why I look at people that take drugs and get drunk. Okay, after you're drunk now, after you done mess up your body with all these drugs and stuff like that, is it beneficial? Right? Because those people have to keep doing it and keep doing it until we get down into our soul. Start blessing your soul, friends. And as you begin to bless your soul, you begin to live. You begin to live and receive life. And that means the blessings of life, the joy of life. That is why we are here. We are not here to die. We are not here to live in depression so that we can disrupt our body, disrupt the flow of God. No, we are here to be something bigger and better. So friends, start blessing your soul in every way and in every day, starting by putting your fists in the air and at the top of your lungs say, I bless my soul as I live and receive life. I bless my soul. See that spirit within you. I bless that soul and I live life. I receive life right here and right now. Now, when Jesus said, I thirst, near the cross was a jar of vinegar. So when the soldiers heard Jesus say, I thirst, they assumed that he was saying that he was thirsty for a physical drink. It may have been in a joking manner, but the soldiers filled a sponge with the vinegar from the jar and put it to Jesus' lips. Jesus took it as an act of compassion and mercy and received the vinegar. What a sting that must have been to the body that was nailed to the cross, dying. I mean, you're bleeding all of a sudden and now someone's feeding you vinegar. You're thirsty if he was really talking about the thirst of a drink, right? And now they're giving him vinegar. Wow. However, Jesus longed for the spiritual. Everything in his life, all that he had done, all the people he had helped, all the people he had healed and raised throughout his life, it all culminated into this. Now, isn't this us sometimes? With all the prayers that we have prayed, with all the sacrifice, people love to say that in a relationship, especially when a relationship ends. I sacrifice so much in this relationship for it to end. Wah, wah, wah. With all the prayers, with all the headaches, with all the heartaches that we have experienced, it seems that life still spits in our face. That we are hungry for, something good and something wonderful, yet we are fed vinegar, right? We are looked at as being a joke. And this can happen. We can stop thinking that we are a child of God, and based on the experiences that happen in our lives, based on how people treat us and how people act towards us, we begin to look at ourselves as a joke. We begin to look at ourselves as Jesus did, what we talked about last week, that we are forsaken. But friends, you are not a joke. You are not forsaken. You are not forgotten. You are real. You have skin, blood, bones. You are real. It means that God is real in you. We must remember that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. But here's the thing. All of us, whether we know it or not, we are working to get back to the spiritual side of life. We are working to get back to the spiritual side of life, because the spiritual side of life is complete fulfillment. The spiritual side of life is that thing that we are thirsting for, right? The real thirst is who we are meant to be as a child of love. When we think about what people are, thirsting for, we look at, scammers, people that steal, people that, they're thirsting for something, they're thirsting for a better life, right? We must realize that the thirst that we have for life is a thirst not to have a need. It is to be totally need-free. To have the peace, have the love, know that we are the peace, we are the love. The thing is that people want to be assured of life. They want to be assured of access. They want to be assured of prosperity, right? So they join different groups, or they do different things so that they can accumulate money or accumulate wealth or accumulate a certain type of friends, a certain amount of people, or a certain type of people in their world, in their neighborhood, in their environment, so that they can say that, I don't know, maybe I am now in the upper echelons of society and stuff like that, right? All satisfies internal needs for love. That's all we are doing. Everything that we are thirsting for is for satisfaction of that internal need. So it means then that we are working towards being the spiritual being that God places here to be in the place. And each and every one of you can do it. How? By knowing that this situation that you're in, whatever it is, be it joyful, be it not so joyful, it is your life's journey. Live it, love it, bless it, prosper in it. Because guess what? This is the moment that you have. This is the moment that you have. And until you get real with this moment, until you accept that this moment, again, whatever experience that you're in, until you accept that it is a blessing, you will always carry that burden. You will always carry that cross wherever you go. So let's put our fists in the air and affirm with me, this is my life's journey, and I live it well. This is my life's journey, and I love it well. This is my life's journey, and I bless it well. This is my life's journey, and I prosper it well. Yes, whatever it is, we are living, we are loving, we are blessing, and we are prospered right where we are, right here and right now. If you follow us on Facebook and Instagram on Black Diamond Worldwide Outreach pages, we posted a wonderful quote the other day that said, the waiting, the meantime, the in-between serves a process. Trust the process, even the delays and the detour. Friends, remember that word, trust the process. Everything that you're going through, trust the process and love yourself more. It starts and ends with you. So make your cries to the universe. Break down to build up. You have to break down to build up. People always say, oh, I hate crying. So do I. But you have to cry. It has to be released from the body. Of course, if you're crying more than like a month, you should seek more help, right? But you have to let these things out of your body. Make your cries to the universe. Break down to build up. I think about Vegas and Atlantic City, right? In the old time days. I don't know if no, they did it, I think, last year with our former president's hotels or casino, whatever it was. You know, they implode these buildings to build up new things. Friends, you might feel like your life is imploding, your spirit is imploding, but you are building up to something great and wonderful. Just as the scripture said, I will restore to you the years the locust had eaten. We're going to get more into that in the next coming weeks, right? The years that the locust had eaten, the things that seem destroyed, the things that seem like will never ever be replaced. The miracle working power of God, the miracle working power in you will restore. Think about this. If you had no human emotions, no human desires, who would you be? Who would you be if you didn't have a desire, right? In other words, how would you live your life? If you had no job, no responsibilities, bills paid, obligations taken care of, emotions in check, emotions on an even keel, who would you be? You would be strong in spirit. Because you're not seeking, you're not thirsting for everything. The fulfillment is in you, friends. This is how I want you to live. I want you to build an ironclad spirit, build an ironclad soul. Oxford defines the term ironclad as fixed, inflexible, strict, and unbreakable. This is how you must live. That no matter what the situation, what you are facing, you have that spirit that is fixed on your success. That is stern, unbreakable, unyielding in your success, your prosperity, and your fulfillment. Fist in the air, top of your lungs. My soul is strong. My spirit is strong. It is ironclad. It is ironclad. Friends, remember that you are composed of divine substance and activated by divine life. You are composed substance and activated. This blood that is flowing through your body, this electrical neurons that are moving through, I think I said that word wrong, but you know, the electricity that is going through your brain, those puffs of air that is going through your brain, controlling your body, it is that divine life. We must think about Jesus' first miracle, turning water into wine. And we must realize that the first miracle as we overcome, the first miracle as we see great, wonderful things happening in our life is turning our consciousness from water, which means that bland substance, right? Where there is really no substance, something that can be easily manipulated, a mind that can be easily manipulated into the wine of spirit, something that is enriched, aged, something that has the wisdom of the ages, the wisdom of the ancestors. We can turn our watery consciousness that has no substance into something that is rich, into something that is wonderful, into the wine of spirit. Fist in the air, affirm with me, I cannot fail. I cannot fail. I am made of good stuff. I am made from good stuff. Oh yes, and the last one I want to leave with you today comes from our Keeper True Lent. Again, the Keeper True Lent talks about the overcomer. It reminds us that in order to overcome, we must first place ourselves in faith in God, which means faith in you. You have all that you need. Everything that you're praying to God for is all in you. You just have to remember that you are that expression of the God self. The second thing is to demonstrate the faith in real time. Not only know it, but walk like you know it. Live as you know it. Prosper as you know that you are a bountiful and a rich child of God. Affirm. Your words will crack the omnipresent ethers, and good will flow to you, from you, around you, from every direction. Do you believe that this is you? Do you believe that everything that you desire is flowing to you from every direction. Everything that you desire is yours. Again, if we live like we had no need, we would know that we can accomplish anything because nothing can stop us. This is how we all should live. This is how God, I believe that this God upstairs wants us to live just so. Just knowing that we are a blessing. Knowing that we always have the blessing of our great Creator within us. And friends, as you walk with this, you don't have to say, I thirst. You will be filled. You will be satisfied. You will be blessed. Let's do this final affirmation, which is the affirmation of the month of April. Put your fist in the air and affirm with me. All the intelligence of the universe is mine now. One more time. All the intelligence of the universe is mine now. I think clearly. I act confidently. Go out and be confident in your world because you have a spirit, you have a strength in you that is so powerful that any mountain, any obstacle, any circumstance that comes to knock you off your game, to knock you off the track of life, does not stand a chance. You no longer thirst over the good things. You are fulfilled. You are renewed. You are restored. You are recharged into a great and a wonderful life. Friends, I want to thank you for visiting us here at BlackDiamondWorldwide.org. I want to remind you to visit our Facebook and Instagram pages at Black Diamond Worldwide Outreach. Please follow, like, share, and comment on those pages. Throughout the week, we post inspirational quotes and affirmations so that we can keep ourselves encouraged. Please share them, screenshot them, send them to people that you know need that encouragement so that we can keep this energy of goodness, so that whatever we're thirsting for, whatever the people in our life are thirsting after and lusting after and wanting, they know that they can receive because we are all children of God and we deserve the best. I love you. Be blessed.